We are going to make it right.
If you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know?
The commander is here.
What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out.
Don't eat. Something that pop your butt.
Yeah. Oh, I can.
Of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. It's Friday, August 18th, and Bitcoin's crashing It's dumping. Why is the background green, Tim, BJ?
Positive because people bought some really good prices.
Okay, I actually bought a little on around the blockchain morning stream. I bought 2 altcoins. I bought some Chainlink. I bought some Algorand. What should my third altcoin DCA target be?
You said, wait, what was the first 2? Algorand.
Link and Algo.
I picked up some more XRP and Matic last night.
Ooh, you got some of that 50-cent XRP.
Yes.
Okay, I'm thinking about Caspa. Thinking about Caspa as my third choice. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin is crashing, folks. The markets are down. Things are bleeding. It's not looking great, folks. We're going to go ahead and refresh because we might have taken another leg down. Yeah, it was actually saying 5.4 earlier, and now we're saying down 6%. So the crypto market cap is now below 1.1 trillion, coming in at 1.096. Let's see, 24-hour volume is way up there. Usually about 50 billion. Now we're coming in at 120 billion. Bitcoin dominance fell a little bit, I believe. Yeah, 46.9 now to 46.4. Yep. And ETH dominance gained a little bit, now coming in at 18.3. But gas, still relatively low, coming in at 42 gwei. So you can still make some moves, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg there. Bitcoin falling 7.8%. We're going to have Frankie on the charts pretty soon. He's going to help us step away from the window ledge. We also have Ethereum down 5.4%. Keep going. XRP, it is down. It is down massively, folks. It is now down to 12.7% on the 24-hour to 50.8 cents. 50 cent XRP. When did you end up buying some?
50 cents, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously 43 would have been great, but by the time I convinced, great wife. I talked about on Investing Bros this morning. You guys need to get a wife like my wife, Taylor. I went to her last night, DZ. I said, hey, babe, crypto just crashed. Can we go take some money and go buy more? I'm thinking 2,000. She says, why 2,000? Why not 5?
There you go.
So,
all right. That's a good wife right there. Frank, can you give me a nod if you can hear me? We got Frank in the wings. Frank, there's might be worth looking at XRP and dollars and XRP and Bitcoin. So we have peeled off all of the gains, but have we gained or lost Satoshis? Nice little ledger. I don't know. Maybe you got some awesome stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to lead you to the water. He's already got freaking flowing fountains. All right, let's see. We keep looking here. Cardano, it is actually overperformed. It is only down 2.5%. Let's just go ahead and look. As far as gainers, I think we have Injective. Optimism's up a little bit. XDC's up a little bit, but nothing is really moving except for Injective is up 9%.
A lot of stable coins. A lot of stable coins up there.
A lot of stable coins.
DZ,
yes.
Mr. Technology says serious levels from the show yesterday were close to all-time highs. Will we see a reversal with DZ today?
With the show yesterday, as far as concurrent viewers?
No. The serious levels.
The seriousness of the
seriousness
show.
level. Oh, like
yeah, it was good.
Seriousness.
And by the way, I'm glad seeing DZ here. Ben is coming. He's in a meeting, so Ben will be coming in shortly. But the show must go on, and the seriousness must go on. And DZ's doing a bad job at the moment.
Gonna keep dancing. We keep dancing. You know, the music's playing. We keep dancing, folks. It's like Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future 3. We're gonna keep on dancing. I can't do the moonwalk. BJ, can you moonwalk?
Yes, depending on how many Satoshis I get for it.
I feel like he could moonwalk. All right, let's look at the top losers, guys. We have some coins, and they're bleeding. Some of these alts are bleeding bad. We have altcoin. Litecoin is leading the way. It is down almost 13%. XRP also almost down about 13%. ApeCoin, boy, do I feel like a dummy buying some. I think $1.90, $1.80, something like that. I was like, yeah, I feel like it's a good buy under $2. I did buy a little under $2. It is now down 11.3%. I have a staking, and guess what? I'm losing more than I'm gaining off the staking there. EOS is down 9%. NEO down 8.7%. SWE down 8.7%. Rollbit has peeled back almost all the gains. I feel pretty good about taking a lot of profits on that one, keeping it in stable. Let's see. We have Kava down 8%. It's shocking to see Bitcoin so high. Bitcoin down 7-8%. And Chainlink down 7.2%. That was one of the reasons I got in. Pepe also down. I kind of want to look at the weekly here, though. Let's see. We have Thorchain is up 40%. They're only down 2% here. But after that, nothing is really up for the week except for Toncoin. We look at the top losers. Rollbit peeled off the most, followed by Litecoin, followed by SWE, followed by EOS. So the moves of the day is kind of dictating, what the moves of the week were. But we got Frankie Candles.
You do.
In the chat. We got the Mr. Mafia. I got Ben's earphone here. So give me a second. Maybe you can chat.
Chat. We're serious only.
So this is funness.
Oh, really? I had it perfectly handled.
What's going on, Frankie?
Is there perfect?
Oh, Frankie,
you can deal with Frankie.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
We are doing swell. Very swell. DC
Bitcoin-
can't hear you, but yeah.
Okay,
do
yeah.
it. You talk-
Bitcoin, not
I
so
heard.
much.
I heard you had a great live stream last night, Frankie.
Yes, we had it was an extremely exciting live stream for us for more than one reason. I will say one of the reasons was we had almost 3,000 people in my live stream, which was a record breaking amount of viewers for us. So super exciting. And with those viewers came a little bit of trouble, but we took care of it very quickly.
Yeah, I heard it was eye-opening, mainly the third eye.
Yeah, we yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's my fault. But yeah, Bitcoin.
I got nothing, Frank. I got nothing.
You can't hear?
Yeah.
No.
Very, very interesting live stream. But I will say, shout out to anybody who's watching this right now.
Giving up his headphones for me there.
There we go.
Now he steps.
Shout out to anybody in here watching right now that was in my live stream last night. Super cool to see that many people watching live, especially when Bitcoin's been going sideways and views have been pretty rough lately. So I'm just, obviously, I hope no one got wrecked too bad out there. But, it was at least exciting to see some kind of movement. We've been basically going sideways for months, and I've just been waiting for some volatility here. So I do have a lot to look at on the charts with you guys. If you saw my segment on this show yesterday, we were looking at some lower prices for Bitcoin. I'll be honest, I did not think we would hit them that quickly. I actually felt kind of crazy looking at those levels, but we did wind up touching them very, very quickly. So let me go ahead. I will jump right on into the charts here. Let me go ahead and move my face out of the way. So here we are, guys, right? Big dump on Bitcoin, and you can kind of already see it here. Something we were looking at yesterday, and just in general for the past 2 months that I've been on the stream, we've been looking at the markets in terms of multiple ranges, right? We've been looking at this macro range. We've also been looking at this more local range up here, as well as this kind of micro range down here. Now, as a trader, this was kind of brutal sideways action, but these ranges can be very, very profitable scalp trading. So we've just been crushing this range. Then we dropped down. We were looking for this move lower, scalped the heck out of this range as well. But once we broke below this level, and you guys will remember, we talked about this yesterday. Whoops, that was the wrong one. Once we break below this value area high, and I hope that there are, if I could get one person out there to remember that we talked about this yesterday and have the volume profiles click in their head, like, okay, maybe I should be keeping an eye on these. But once we break below this value area high, this was the first warning sign that we may be looking to lower prices. And typically when you break a value area high like this, you are going to expect, especially if you cannot get back above, if you guys watch my show or if you were watching yesterday, this will be a very familiar drawing to you. But once you break below this value area high and you cannot get back above that level, you are likely to get acceptance back into this range, which could eventually bring you down to this value area low, getting close to about $26,160. And again, I'm not going to lie, I felt kind of crazy looking at this yesterday. I could hear the people in chat like, oh my God, this guy thinks we're going to 26. What a lunatic. And I'll be honest, I did not expect this to happen yesterday. I did not think it was going to happen in this straight line. Typically with these ranges, price action's messy. You'll break below the value area high. You're expecting to eventually get down to the low, but oftentimes it's very, very turbulent, right? You'll come down to the POC, you'll bing bong around, you'll come down, back up, but eventually you do make it to that value area low. But the volume profile just wanted to make me look good yesterday. So it just went straight to the value area low. So very, very scary panic dump yesterday. But at least on this chart, which is the Bitstamp chart, we did come right down to our key level, which was the value area low. So no real shocker there. And again, yesterday I was talking about how I'm really not going to be flipping long-term bearish until we decisively lose these lows. Now we did get on things like the Bybit chart. We got this panic wick all the way down to about $23,637, likely due to liquidations. But I'm going to stay on the spot chart here for now. Now, another thing to keep in mind, I don't typically look for trades after a big move like this. Similar to the FOMC meetings, I don't like to trade the chaos. If I'm in a trade already, we will profit, which I did make a decent bit on a maker short yesterday. But when we're looking at this, I'm looking for things to kind of settle down here before I look to take any trades, but we are at support here. We are at that macro value area low, so it is possible to, if we can hold this, get a little bit of a bounce to the upside. Now, one other thing that is slightly alarming here, now, there is a little bit of a caveat. It's not an immediate panic, but if we look here, I'm sure a lot of people have been looking at this. If we look at the 200-week moving average, we are now breaking below the 200-week moving average. And I know a lot of people are probably screaming, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. And it is, right? It's not the worst thing ever, but it is slightly alarming, at least right now. But we have to remember, you don't want to make any panic decisions based off of this, because I talked about this on my live stream last night. A lot of times, the market makers know about these levels. They know there are a lot of people watching these levels, right? So a lot of times, price will go above the 200-week moving average. Everyone's screaming for 100K. And, oh my God, we back tested it. We're holding it as support. Oh my God, here comes 100K, and then only to get sucked right back down below it and absolutely dump into the depths of the bear market. Same thing happened right here. I'm sure everybody and their grandma, all the bears were coming out saying 10K, 10K, 10K. We broke the 200-week moving average. It's over. I know it's going to dump. And then it just rolls right back over and comes up. Now, with that being said, we are losing that 200-week moving average, which is definitely an alarming thing. I'm not going to pretend that it's not bearish or alarming. It is, but you do just want to be careful that, like, I would like to see where this weekly candle closes, because if we do wind up getting some kind of a crazy bounce coming in here, and even if we do close the candle below here, we've closed candles below the 200-week and above the 200-week before, and still returned below and returned above. So we just have to be careful. Definitely an alarming sign, but I am going to see where this weekly candle settles, and I would like to see multiple weekly candles close below this before really flipping super bearish, but definitely something to keep an eye on. Definitely more of a bearish sign. So before I go ahead and wrap it up here, I will give you guys some levels that I am watching to the upside in case we do get a bounce, and I'll also give you some levels to the downside in case we get another dump. Now, if we do get a bounce to the upside, some of the levels I will be looking at is going to be, at least I'll pull this down here for now, some of these levels up here at around 28.6, that is a little bit high in my opinion, but if we do get a bounce, this could be a decent level to watch. I don't think we'll get up there very quickly. I think if we are going to get up there, we'll probably have a little bit of work to do. We'll probably come up, back down, and then slowly grind our way up there. But coming down to some of the lower levels, I would also look at this golden pocket. Let me pull it real quick. It's kind of hard because we don't have a confirmed bounce coming in here. But yeah, 27K is going to really be a big level that I'm watching. If we do get some kind of a local bounce to come in here, this is likely going to be a strong level of resistance. And I will be looking at the 786 as well. So basically between 27.6 and I would say $27,000 even is probably going to be the first major level of resistance I would look for if we do get a bounce to come in here. And we could be forming a bullish divergence here on the 1 hour time frame. And if we are going to get that bounce, again, I am not really looking for too many crazy scalp trades right now. I want to wait for price to kind of calm down a bit. But if we get that 1 hour bull dip, that could be the start of a little bit of a retracement to the upside. So that's one thing I'm looking at. And then I will give you guys some of those lower levels if we continue to break down. Now, obviously, you do want to keep an eye on the volume profile that we were just looking at, as we are sitting at that value area low right now. But if we do get some kind of another insane dump to come in here, you never know what's going to happen. What I would be looking at is the levels that we showed yesterday on this show, which was coming from this range down here from all the way back in January. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that range as well as the golden pocket from this swing low all the way to the high. So I'm going to pull that fib right now from the low all the way to the high, and that does come within perfect confluence of that value area high. So this is going to be a very, very key level to watch if we do get some kind of, if we do get another crazy kind of panic dump. This is going to be a big level to watch. And this is the level we bounced off of yesterday, at least on the Bybit chart where I had that big panic wick. We did get a bounce right off that level. So very interesting. Again, I felt crazy even mentioning this on yesterday's live stream because, you know, I was thinking eventually it could come in, but likely it wouldn't have happened yesterday. And then right before my live stream just absolutely started dropping like a rock. So those are the key levels I'm looking at. But again, I just want to harp on the fact that this was not too unexpected if you're looking at the volume profiles. Simply, you lose the value area high, you expect to come to the low. Obviously, you want to realize there's turbulence in between, but simply put, looking at these volume profiles, if I could go back and change anything about, in the beginning of my trading journey, I wish I could have found these earlier. It would have saved me so much money and so much time learning. Yeah, they're literally X-ray vision into the market. And I have this is a free free tool on TradingView. This isn't something we sell or anything like that. It's completely free on TradingView. So one of the best tools I've ever used. But those are the levels I'm looking at.
All right, real quick, I kind of briefly mentioned it. XRP, have we lost all the gains since the SEC announcement?
Yeah, let me pull up that.
Or go ahead. I was going to say, I think it's July 12th. If you look at the mark, I don't know, you might need to pull it up real quick. I think it's July 12th. It might be the 22nd. 13th, maybe. That's where we lost all. Yep. That's where we basically took off like a rocket.
Yeah.
Now, what does that exact same day compared to today look like for XRP Bitcoin trading pair? Because right now, if you're just looking at fiat, you have lost every single gain you got from that pump. But if you're looking at it in Satoshis, are we up, are we down, or are we in the same?
I would argue it's
You're up?
slightly, yes,
Yeah,
slightly.
because 0.00015 Satoshis per XRP now to 0.00019.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I would argue. Yeah, I would argue definitely slightly better. You still are a little bit up if you were in at right here on the USD pair. But
okay.
But still, it is holding up a little bit better. I will say this, though, now that I look at it, again, we had two major levels we were looking at here for XRP. And if I could just steal 2 more minutes here, I think this would be worth it and a good learning.
We got at least
experience for
115 seconds for you.
Perfect. I exceed in 115 seconds specifically. But no, we have these 2 levels, right?
Frankie.
But yeah, we had these 2 levels that I was looking at for XRP, and this was kind of our last ditch effort to get a bounce. This was kind of my last place I would have been willing to look for a long. But the reason this was such a key level was not just the fact that we were looking for a bounce here, but the reason this was important was because it was a value area high. And just like I showed you guys on Bitcoin, once you lose that value area high, you have to at least entertain the idea of potentially returning to your value area low. That's how I call it the laws of the volume profile. When you lose the value area high, it is much more likely for price to go to the POC of that range and then to the value area low of that range. And where did price go on XRP? It went, arguably you might have gotten some kind of a bounce at the POC. I'm not going to waste the time looking at the lower time frames, but you went from, once you broke that value area high, we talked about this on the live stream, saying if you lose this, it's important because you have context into what this level will do, what price will do if this level is broken. And you would expect it to go to the value area low. And where did it go? Straight down to the range low. So just one more shill for the volume profile. Again, I have nothing to benefit off of this, but I just know if there's people out there learning how to trade, this is literally the most powerful trading tool I have found, or at least it clicks with the way I look at the markets. And that's just another beautiful example of where we were expecting price to go. And it just went there. It's not because I'm a wizard. It's not because I'm the best trader. It's simply based off of how we find these levels.
It's working now. And guys, we might only have 6 more months for this to work. Just like, there's different trading indicators. As they get more popular, more people start using it, therefore losing gains. You kind of like, all right, if you use this indicator, you're up 10%, but then 2 people use it. Now you're up 5%. 4 people use it. You're up 2.5. Once everybody knows about the volume profile, guys, the gains might be gone. So you really need to follow Frankie Candles. Make sure you're following BitLab Academy. Learn more about it just in general. Frankie, are you in a trade? Did you open a long?
No, I'm not in a long right now. I am in a trade. I am in
a short.
Yeah, I'm in a maker short right now, up about almost 3. Yeah, almost. It's up about 106%, up about $3,000. Got $500 locked in. The rest is unrealized. But yeah, sitting in that maker short, going to try to squeeze this thing for everything it's worth. Also, a setup we put in the premium Discord. If anyone's interested, you can check out more information on my channel.
All right, Franks, when's your next live stream?
5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to my boy DZ. And I will not be doing any live TA reviews. If you were in the live stream last night, you'll know what I'm talking about.
All right. And Frank, hey, we started ending at 5:30, so maybe consider 5:30. You get done sooner.
Hey.
You do get done sooner.
That is true.
All right. Well, Frank, always a good time. Make sure you follow Frankie Candles, folks.
Hasta pasa, bro.
All right, man. Later on. Alrighty.
Yeah, Frank's show last night was a little too moonish.
What? I thought it was before the big dump.
Yeah, it was just a little too moonish, and people that watched it know what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. I think I see where you're going there.
Yeah.
All right.
Third eye. Anyway, that's a joke because this is a serious show. It's time to get into serious stuff.
All right, let's
crypto.
get serious, folks. Ben should be here any minute, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and talk about why some of the reasoning, Bitcoin is dumping. There's about 3 reasons I can think of. We're going to cover them right here. Elon Musk's SpaceX isn't the cause of this multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin bloodbath. It fell, amid the reports of hundreds of $1 million in quote-unquote sales of Bitcoin from SpaceX. This is what crossed the mind of Ritika. Just woke up. Who sold? That does look like a scary candle. It was an unexpected major sell-off, and it jolted everyone after it had been a boring few weeks. Likely worldwide among traders and crypto hopefuls, given how sudden and deep the losses were, was the surprise here. As of 6 UTC Friday, fallen as much as 9%. Looks like it's pared it back down to about 7.78%. To 25K from 28,500. We have now pulled up to about 26K, correct? And on Binance, leading to a market-wide slump that sent major tokens like Litecoin tumbling by 14%. Caused more than $1 billion in futures to be liquidated, a 14-month high. Some are pointing at SpaceX's supposed Bitcoin sales, unsubstantiated claim, while others saying the bankruptcy of Evergrande may have had something to do with the fall. However, neither of these events are the probable cause. Back to the Wall Street Journal report here. Citing internal company documents, they noted Elon SpaceX had written down the value of his Bitcoin holdings in 2021 and 2022 and has sold the cryptocurrency. But that report came out before the plunge, and there's zero evidence the company sold again Thursday.
Yeah.
There's actually, they marked it down, is a better term. They marked it down about $330 million, 336. So if they bought $1 billion worth, and then they have to reassess the value, just like you have heavy equipment depreciation. SpaceX has SpaceX's heavy equipment depreciation is higher than about any company in the world. Because if you think about it, they have depreciating rockets. And so they have to, when you're in accounting, you have a depreciating asset. All right, you have your brand new car off the lot, you're a taxi cab company, you write down, hey, it's 50K. You go forward 4 years, you're not going to say you have a 50K asset in a car. You're going to mark it down to 20K. And so then it's going to say, hey, I've sold or marked down $30,000 worth of vehicles. Is that what's happening with Bitcoin? We don't know the exact number, so we don't know if he sold 10% and then the 90% of it is just falling. We don't know if 100% of the action is the price falling. We don't know if they're not even considering the price falling. Maybe they bought in lower and are actually selling some. Maybe they're up in their Bitcoin price. We don't really know the details. The reason we don't know the details, it's a privately held company. They don't have to open up their books. They can keep it somewhat closed. This was, they did open it up for Wall Street Journal a little bit. Did it a few years ago. What are your thoughts on SpaceX?
Yeah, no, the details of this are very, very sketchy, DZ. First of all, you look at the timing. You have to blame the story for the crash yesterday. Evergrande is also a big thing that's leading, and I think that's a bigger deal than the SpaceX story. But if you look at the timing of when that article was released, and then you look at the charts, it is perfect. I mean, that article comes out, and immediately the candles start dropping. So Elon is to blame for the dump yesterday, but it's stupid that he's to blame. And in my opinion, DZ, this is the epitome of when Wyckoff talks about the composite man and the way he moves markets, and you have to imagine you're trading against that person. This was a classic composite man move.
Composite man's not a man made of like composite of other parts, right?
Like Frankenstein's monster?
Well, it's 2023. I don't know.
It's not Frankenstein's monster.
Okay,
no, it's from IKEA.
Okay.
Serious I got an IKEA story while Cat's here.
Seriously, what a composite man is it's the concept of saying there's a lot of whales and there's institutions and manipulators out there. They all do their own thing, but you treat them, Wyckoff teaches, like it's one being you trade against. You have to think the way they think. And
the
way
market's
they think,
an animal.
Yeah,
it's an animal is how I like to look at it.
The way they think is they purposely put out articles at certain times to dump markets. They purposely put out articles at certain times to pump markets. I was watching a video today, actually, about there's a classic example of this where George Soros wanted to buy copper. I think this was an Altcoin Daily clip. So shout out to Altcoin Daily. They were talking with Mark Yusko. Mark Yusko was saying, when he wanted to buy copper, what did he do? He didn't just go out and buy copper. He first made sure that the articles he had control over printed very, very bad stories and FUD stories about copper.
How it stinks when you touch it.
He plummeted the price so that he could get more supply. Well, the same thing is happening here. When you look at a lot of different crypto channels, we've been talking about 25,000, 25.2 for a long time. Didn't think it was going to happen this soon, but it was a level to keep an eye on that we knew institutions, as we're seeing institutions get more heavily involved with ETFs and everything else. This was a great level they wanted to get to, and they found the perfect Thank you, Siri. They found the perfect example, the perfect excuse to dump the market so they could go buy more supply. I will say, DZ, I don't think that 25 is done. I think we will revisit 25. I have my own opinions on that. I talked about on Investing Bros this morning, but we'll talk about that more next week probably.
Hey, Kat, you want to say hey to Karen real quick? I know you read the comment. Someone asked in the chat, is this affecting the stock market? I pulled up Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's actually flat. It's up 0.14%. That's to you, Karen. Karen in the chat, Karen Harris. Kat is there. I so enjoyed having dinner with her on the BitBoy Pluto Alliance Galactic Cruise. Really, really fun time there. So, yeah, we'll make sure you'll see Kat at all the events. We're going to be at Rare Evo. So anybody at Rare Evo, come hang out for sure. All right. So there's all right. So then we have the Evergrande story. Yes. So that's what we're talking about as far as SpaceX. Reason number 2, it could be, well, here we have 4 reasons, really. A long squeeze, that's basically a bunch of greedy traders. Someone gets liquidated, then it kind of moves the mark, which then increases the odds the next person gets liquidated. Then we get a cascading liquidation event. No, don't go anywhere with that one. So it could be the traders just getting wrecked there. Also, we have the Evergrande story. Let's see if they're talking about Evergrande. That's the secret reason. I have a secret theory to on it as well. Evergrande story, I mean, it's like a Chinese real estate company. It's down. They're saying, hey, it's just going to pull down the whole market. The real reason Evergrande is pulling down crypto, right? Or Evergrande? Well, again, I think that they should, and it's also, you also got to think about recently what's happened in Hong Kong news. China had gotten a little bit more pro-crypto. I think a lot of people in China and Hong Kong had bought Bitcoin, and even though we knew Evergrande was going to crash, we've known about this for probably 2 years. I think it was a good spark as well that is going to bring a lot of FUD to China. But the real question, DZ, I want to know what you think about this. How do you think that the Evergrande story, it definitely is going to have a small effect on the stock market? Someone asked that earlier. What do you think it will do with BRICS? BRICS have come out a lot recently saying we don't want to trade anymore in US dollar. We want to do our own thing. But the Chinese yuan was going to be a pivotal factor in what the BRICS wanted to do to get away from the dollar. This Evergrande story and what we're seeing happen in the Chinese economy could be a real wrench in the system that they want to do. What are your thoughts about how this affects BRICS? I don't think anyone is going to say, you know what, I wanted to get cozy with China over America, which is essentially what BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Then I think there's about 15 other nations that have joined this. You see China has some issues with Evergrande. That's not going to move the needle. Really, you're escaping the power of the West. And so is it not good? I mean, do you want to go enter into a trade agreement and all of a sudden one of their largest companies is collapsing? No, but is that going to be what moves the needle to make them, you know what, I'm rejecting BRICS and I'm just going to go ahead and plug into the system of the West? That's not going to happen. It's a lot larger reasons why they're choosing the BRICS alliance over, the Western Alliance and the EU alliance. Evergrande does have it's a little bit of a history. I'm gonna pull up. This is just an old article from 2021. And it's Evergrande and China's looming risk to Tether. To Tether's credit, they said they have sold out of all Evergrande commercial paper, although they still have some Chinese commercial paper. There's a lot of rumors that no, they still have a lot of Evergrande. So a lot of people are saying, oh, if Evergrande goes down or Evergrande, it's bad for Tether. Tether's going to collapse. If Tether collapses, the whole crypto market collapses. So I think that's, maybe reason number 3. So we have the traders, we have Elon, we have Evergrande. Reason number 4, and this is the funnest reason for me, I really need to get my tinfoil out for this one. This is a conspiracy, and I don't know if this is true, folks. This is just more of a fun story, and I want to know what you guys think about it. Meanwhile, traders seem to be waiting on a grayscale court ruling about the issuance of an ETF, a ruling. Here's the big announcement, widely expected to be announced on Friday.
Oh, that's today.
So we have a huge Grayscale SEC announcement. So this is the Federal Appeals Court, and this is a ruling on the Grayscale versus SEC case. And this will determine if the SEC was unreasonable in the repeated denial of their ETF. The ruling in Grayscale's favor would be a huge market-wide surge, while the opposite could jolt markets further. We saw a lot of action in XRP in the 24 hours leading up to the court case. Was there inside information? I certainly don't know. But the rumors, there was rumors that there was.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure. The rumors were insiders had knowledge. They started trading on it. Is there something similar happening with SEC versus Grayscale right now? It's a rumor. It's unsubstantiated. It's conspiracy theory. I think there might be something there, though.
Scotty Swing is saying they said it was pushed to Tuesday.
Okay, the SEC ruling. Okay.
I mean,
by then it was too late. Hey, maybe too much action. They're like, hey, man, you front ran. You told too many people. Let's see. In Elon, I trust. All right. When is the C Discord? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so push to Tuesday. Most things are better than XRP. Anglo says we've been duped by the system. All right. And Kat, your friend Karen, she likes a good hat. All right. Let's see. Here we got more SpaceX stuff. The SpaceX, just a little more details around what a write down means. Write down sparked confusion, and then the Bitcoiners, they're quizzing Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
Several outlets reported that they sold their entire Bitcoin holdings, while others express uncertainty, claiming they're unable to confirm the amount based on the wording of the report. That's what I was saying. Yes, the report claims they marked down the value by $373 million. By the way, that doesn't mean they sold $373 million and sold some. But selling some doesn't necessarily mean that they have no Bitcoin left. So they sold some. I think that guarantees that they mean they didn't sell all, right? You wouldn't say I sold some if you sold all. So they sold some. We don't know what the percentage is. And then Bitcoin, more than likely is down from the price that they got in. I'm assuming he bought around the same time he bought for Tesla, which is 10 to 15K Bitcoin. Been sitting on it for years. Yeah, maybe he took some profits. There. Let's see. Even got a community noted here by X. He revealed in 21 that SpaceX holds Bitcoin as well as Tesla on its balance sheet. When Tesla's Bitcoin holdings were made public, there were estimations around SpaceX, but we didn't really know which has been key to the ongoing confusion. Like I said earlier, privately held company. He doesn't have to share. He doesn't have to open up his books. Yeah. We just know they have some. How much do you think? How many Bitcoin does Elon hold? And here's a better question. What does Elon hold more of, Bitcoin or Doge? What do you think, Tim? What do you think, BJ?
It's a meme to say Dogecoin. And don't be wrong, I think he owns a lot of Dogecoin because I think he has big plans for Dogecoin. But he owns more Bitcoin. He's even come out, and again, you have to believe him, but he's come out and said he owns more Bitcoin than Doge in the past.
Okay.
So
all right.
I think that's a pretty simple answer, but it's always fun to explore the possibility of him owning more Dogecoin. All
right, what are we more likely to buy? The cup of coffee on planet Mars? Are we buying it with Doge? Or are we buying it with Lightning Network and Satoshis?
Well, how are we getting through the Van Allen belt?
With radiation shielding technologies that have yet to be developed, BJ. Okay.
Yeah, Doge. I think I'm coming around to the belief system that Bitcoin won't be used on the everyday basis, but I think that it could be a backing of money in ways like instead of always comparing things like right now, we always compare to how much US dollars do you have of Shiba Inu or Dogecoin or Litecoin. I think at one point we will start asking the question, how much Ethereum do you have in terms of Bitcoin? How much Dogecoin do you have in terms of Bitcoin? But you can't argue with that. Dogecoin is easier to transact because there's more of it. It'll allow for things. Bitcoin, the beauty of Bitcoin is the value. The downside is the ability to transact massive amounts of transactions. So I think you're more likely to see Dogecoin be the one transacted.
Yeah, and then we have our resident troll saying, too bad space is fake. Here's a question for you, BJ. Real question. I don't know the answer. You can take iodine to minimize your radiation exposure. Can astronauts do the same?
Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got people walking around Chernobyl. You know what I mean? And then they're like, live until they're 70. So what can an astronaut do in a 2-month voyage? I don't know. I never really thought about that. Maybe, do we have any radiation experts? All right, let's talk about Evergrande here. China's property giant files for bankruptcy protection in Manhattan court. So this is, a lot of people are saying this is one of the reasons. I think it's a catalyst of reasons why it fell here. Here's a residential complex constructed by Evergrande in the Huayin, Jiangsu, China, in July 20th of this year. Heavily indebted property giant on Thursday filed for Chapter 15 bankruptcy protection in U.S. court. It's 2 times better than Chapter 13 there. In a separate statement, they say they'll ask the U.S. court for recognition of the schemes of arrangement under the offshore debt restructuring for Hong Kong and the British Virgin Islands. Looks like they're referencing their restructuring proceedings as they, go to these islands known for loose financial laws. The world's most indebted property developer defaulted in 21 and announced an offshore debt restructuring program in March. Trading of the shares have been suspended since March of last year. So we're looking at about 15 months, 16 months. The firm also suspended trading in at least 10 of its mainland China traded yuan bonds, according to Reuters. Their massive real estate sector has long been a vital engine of growth for the world's second largest economy and accounts for as much as 30% of their GDP. Net losses for 21 to 22 were $66 billion and $14 billion, respectively, as a result of property write-downs, return of lands, losses of financial assets and costs, and the company said there. So a lot of real estate issues in China. Will it have a worldwide effect? It looks like. I mean, I will say this, Chinese to their credit, they've been doing a really good job of kicking the Evergrande can down the road. It wasn't, we're kind of spreading the pain over 18 months instead of 1.8 days. So, I mean, I kind of want to say, their massaging of the data is probably enabled us to not feel the worst of the pain.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that it went 2 years like that, kicking it down the road, is actually kind of impressive. So that's why, like, some people are like, and it's actually, I was talking with Ben last night on the phone. He actually mentioned it in the video last night. We had a long conversation. It was good. And he was saying like that. He's like, that doesn't make sense that would be a big news because everyone knew that was happening. But it's like, it's been so long we've talked about Evergrande. I think it snuck up and surprised people, and people had forgotten that was a real threat. And then you start reading into the story, and it's like, oh, no, like, that's not the only issue in China right now. Like, there's a lot that this could start. Like, this was a domino that could have a lot more fall right after it.
Amelia is quite mad at me for not being up to par on my radiation exposure knowledge. I apologize. I didn't mean to come off as half-butting there. So, hey, sorry. Let's see what else we got there. So, it looks like iodine might not work, seems to be the consensus. You've been following the comments there, BJ? All right, back to crypto.
No comment.
Back to crypto. I think it's time for the Ripple moment, brought to you by Steak. Everybody, hey, I had steak last night, and it was delicious. Yeah. And monthly bonus hit today if you are a degen like me. All right, let's roll right into it. We do the we don't do the
we'll do the mid-roll after. We'll do the
mid-roll
XRP segment, do mid-roll after.
Right. Ripple joins MasterCard Alliance for CBDC development. So they're another partnership for XRP, for all the XRPL fanatics out there. It's gaining more recognition for its innovations in fintech as MasterCard has onboarded the firm as part of its CBDC Alliance. As announced by MasterCard, they're going to join other innovators in the world, including Consensus, Fluency, Fireblocks, Hyperion, all of which are part of the Alliance. The Alliance is being convened to help bring a greater understanding of the benefits and limitations of CBDCs. And while their presence will bolster the understanding of the ease of deployment, entities like Fireblocks will contribute security insights as well. They expanded the role in the CBD scene over the past few years as it looks to help central banks achieve their respective goals in this new niche. The company boasts of the fact that it has a responsive and scalable infrastructure that can support mass transaction throughput and customization. Prior to MasterCard Alliance, Ripple has been actively involved in the national digital currency pursuit for a number of central banks, including Colombia and Bhutan. With the firm expanding its reach to other nations, it is poised to contribute in a unique way to the MasterCard CBDC consortium there. Okay, iodine works to stop radiation to the thyroid building up. I did know that, but I didn't know that. Yeah. I guess it's like, okay, so it's like the damage to your skin, your brain, the blood-brain barrier. Okay, that kind of makes sense now. I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, doesn't the skin get affected and
overrated?
So what?
Necrotizing fasciitis is overrated.
Yeah. What he said, right? It's the breakdown of cells, essentially. He's just likes to sound smart, folks. All right, why has XRP crashed 20% in the last week? Why has it crashed? Hey, it has gained Satoshis, like Frank pointed out. Coincided with the court case in between Ripple and the SEC. So, we had a nice little pump after that. But then, Bitcoin crashed. And of course, we're going to lose a lot of gains with that. Like Ben said on the morning stream, I caught a little bit of it this morning. He was saying, it's going to, I don't want to say live or die by Bitcoin's price action, but Bitcoin's price action is going to be a very large influence into what XRP is going to do. On the other hand, the hope of a quick recovery remains as Crypto Insight Tuck observed that they still managed to close the day above its 200 period simple moving average, which is a bullish sign, according to the crypto expert analysts shared on the X post there. So I wonder if it's still above the 200. Probably is, because like I said, it did gain some Satoshis, so it might just be enough to keep it above the 200. But Bitcoin dipping below, and it's not good. All right, let's I think we go ahead and roll that thing, baby. All right, let's get into the liquidation, folks. $1 billion in liquidations as just 24 hours as the markets roil. So this might be part of the reason why we're seeing so much price action here as liquidations, push that price further down. Looks like as the King crypto sank to as low as 25K at some exchanges there. The most liquidated contracts were Bitcoin with about $500 million, followed by Ethereum with about $300 million, and then followed by XRP coming in much lower, coming in about 8% of the volume there, $25 million liquidated for that. So a lot of liquidations there. People feeling the pain. Got to keep those stop losses close, folks, there. Crypto sell-off saps $1.5 billion in open interest. Funding rates dip negative, folks. So the funding rates are negative. I mean, everybody's expecting it to go down here. So the open interest fell by under 1.5 billion across Bybit, Binance, OKX, and Deribit, data shows. While spot market valuations witnessed steep losses, derivative traders were hardest hit with liquidations on long positions, wiping out tons and tons of money there, pushing close to $1 billion. So the traders are getting liquidated, folks. One guy just by himself lost, it was actually 55.9, if I'm not wrong, lost $56 million on an ETH long. So we're looking at that number, 300 million got liquidated. One guy was 1/6 of that. So he was 1/6 of the entire long position there. So this guy, he lost 55 million on Binance. Binance feeling pretty good about that one there. So maybe the shorter though. Someone made some money. Went from 1780 to 1560. Boom, hit his liquidation mark there, and he just lost all the funds there. That one's gonna sting the nostrils a little bit.
Yeah.
Ready to talk about Orange Man?
The Orange Man, I am. And by the way, I want everyone to know, Ben was planning to be here. He's in a very big meeting, very important meeting. He thought it was only going to run like 5 to 10 minutes into the show. We don't know what's happening because he's still not here, so it must be very important. But hopefully he joins us here soon. But DZ, you're doing a great job today, keeping it serious, keeping it crypto. But guess what? We do have fun at the end. So if you're still here for X Minute, that's where we cut loose.
Yeah, maybe bring my beautiful fiance back.
Oh yeah, love it.
It's hard to concentrate on
right
crypto.
Here.
I see you right there in the darkness.
Never mind.
All right, Donald Trump says U.S. dollar loses dominance. Time for Bitcoin to become the world reserve currency? Question mark. Here he is seen setting up a sneeze, I think. Oh, never mind. That's photoshopped in after. All right, against the backdrop of a potential decline, a new contender is emerging. It is Bitcoin. With its decentralized nature, could this digital currency be poised to challenge the mighty dollar? I say yes. All right, so it's talking about the U.S. dominance is diminishing here. And then in a recent interview, looks like it was with Fox Business News, Donald Trump painted a bleak picture of America's future. He asserted a flagging influence of the U.S. on the world stage. Central to his prognosis is the dwindling status of the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency. He described this loss as bigger than losing any war. Our country's going to hell. We're not going to be the big boy. Why did he say the big boy? I don't know. We're not going to be the big boy, Trump declared, employing vivid imagery to convey America's weakening global position. I like how they say he's employing vivid imagery, just saying, hey, he is a good persuader here. We have power, but it's waning. In fact, it's waning in terms of our currency. And I'm not just talking about the value of our currency. I'm talking about our currency being used throughout the world. He did not mince words when he spotlighted the vital role of the U.S. dollar in global commerce. We have something that's very powerful, and that's our dollar, he emphasized. How long is this clip? It's 50 seconds. Can people hear it?
I don't know if we have it set. Do we have it set up, BJ?
We can give it a shot. It's probably not going to work, but we can try.
All right, well, that's him right there, looking, orange and stuff. I don't know. How about that hair?
I think if it does,
majestic hair.
Oh,
Some
they
say.
can hear it.
They can hear it.
Oh, they can. Okay. All right. We got 20 more seconds here. 30.
look, we are already reverting to third world status in many ways. You look at our airports, you look at our terminals, you look at our filthy roads and broken roads and everything else. We're like a third world country. We have something that's very powerful, and that's our dollar all over. But you take a look at what's happening to it now with other countries not using it. And China wants to replace it with the yuan. And it was unthinkable with us. Unthinkable. Would never have happened. Now people are thinking about it.
All right.
Those thoughts were never in people's heads.
All right. Ever. Well, he's he's lamenting the fact that we're losing our dominance. But I would say I'd rather it be Bitcoin than another nation's currency. What about you?
Yeah, no, obviously. And this kind of brings back up what we were talking about here a couple minutes ago with everything happening in China. I think it's interesting in that, not in that clip, in a different video in the same interview, he talks about if he gets elected president, he's going to get rid of Jerome Powell. He doesn't like what Jerome Powell's been doing with interest rates. He's very, very concerned about the dollar being dominant. You know, recently we're not really sure what his stance on crypto is. After like 2 years ago, he says, I don't like Bitcoin. It's a scam. I like the dollar. Now we know he owns $2.8 million of Ethereum and other assets. You know, so I don't think that he's going to be a pro crypto person. He clearly in this clip and what he's saying is saying, I want the dollar to win. But he might get more of his way, especially with China's economy and like he mentioned in that video, the Chinese yuan is a threat. Well, not right now. Chinese yuan is going down. We're watching the Dixie right now climb, just broke some serious resistance heading towards $104. Could it keep going up? That's not good for Bitcoin. So for that reason, DZ, yeah, like we obviously, all of us in crypto, we want it to be Bitcoin, not the dollar. We don't want it to be the Chinese yuan or anything else. But
Troy's saying, where's he at? Troy, the dollar is going to crash hard, hyper. Let's see. All right, Trump. A lot of people saying he looks like he's aging. He's looking like an aging. People are saying, age Obama quite a bit too. You know, a lot of people get aged. I mean, yeah, it ages people. That's one of the things it's definitely known for. You go in that job, you're not coming out with less wrinkles and less gray hairs, or you know, in my case, just any hair. I guess at that point. All right, let's see. Let's talk about Coinbase. We got past Trump. Now we're talking about Coinbase. Coinbase to suspend trading for USDT, DAI stablecoin, and RAI for Canadian customers. They're discontinuing support for these effective August 31st. So you have until the 31st. First reported by Cointelegraph, citing a customer email it reviewed yesterday. This move by Coinbase follows a decision earlier this year by Crypto.com to delist USDT for its Canadian users. Notably, the Ontario Securities Commission banned USD trading in 2021. Though the reasoning behind that decision remains undisclosed. Could it be, it could have anything to do with the trucker convoy and policing Canadian citizens' money? Yeah. I'd say yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Canada is very much coming out anti-freedom, anti-crypto, we don't have a way to observe our civilians, so we don't like
anti-ham. They got to call it Canadian bacon. You know, they are pro-maple. All right, Coinbase's decision to restrict stablecoin trading is particularly noteworthy given expansion into the Canadian market after Binance's exit. So once Binance left, Coinbase started rolling in. They announced their interest into the scene on the 14th, emphasizing Canada's potential for significant growth. Through a collaboration through People's Trust Company, Coinbase introduced Interact payment options, streamlining Canadian dollar transactions for its local users. So they're doing a lot of work in Canada. But Tether stops minting USDT on 3 blockchains, including Bitcoin's Omni layer. This is a old, like pre-Lightning Network Bitcoin protocol, I guess you could call it here. Let's see. So they're stopping it for Omni layer, Kusama, and Bitcoin Cash. So no more USDT on these chains here. So the decision to end support for Omni, which is the Bitcoin-based network on which the stablecoin was originally offered. They said the Omni layer experienced challenges. Many exchanges prefer USDT issued on other chains. I would say the main challenge is just lack of usage there. Tether will instead offer its Bitcoin implementation of USDT on RGB. Nothing to do with Ruth Baker Ginsburg. That's RBG. It's a layer 2 and layer 3 network for Bitcoin and the Lightning Network. Tether said that this would offer unparalleled scalability and know that is contributing to RGB's development. So basically, Lightning Network. Bitcoin doesn't have the volume to support multiple layers. It really just has one. And even then, there's reports that Lightning Network, its usage is slowing and slowing and slowing. So I think people, when it comes to dealing with the stablecoin, they just rather use ETH. I think that's okay.
Maybe. I don't know if I know. Yeah, you probably know more on that issue than I do.
When's the last time you've downloaded a Bitcoin wallet?
Downloaded one?
Or just had one?
I mean,
interacted with one.
I just had it. I got a new cold wallet here a month or so ago, but downloading one, it's been a year.
Yeah, years for me. For me. I just use centralized exchange. I use Coinbase to hold my Bitcoin. Yeah. I don't have too much Bitcoin. I have a lot more Ethereum and Cardano than Bitcoin. All right, so the decision should have a minimal impact on the supply. Through multiple other networks are supported. The vast majority is on ETH and Tron, which together account for virtually all of the $83 billion in the market cap there. ETH future ETFs were just given a thumbs up, folks. We're switching gears to ETH futures here. All right, so looks like this was breaking news. They're reportedly close to approving the Ether future-based ETF, with several firms possibly approved by October. Hold on, where are we at on ETH? All right, we go to ETH. It was what, 1648? I think we went to. We were about 1860. We're now 1663. If there is an ETF, do we pass 2,000?
If it launches the futures,
Yes.
Futures more often than not come with a little bit more of a correction. So the fact that we just got one is going to be a little weird. Usually it's like they rally into the futures ETF being launched and then it falls. So this is interesting because there's a lot of things happening here, but it'll be a little bit of time here. I think it'll be a mixed bag. And I don't know. Like I was talking about this morning, and I'm not doing charts today. I'm not convinced that everything is hit where it's going to go by October.
All right.
I think an ETF maybe gives us a small bounce back up, but I don't know about 2,000. I think more realistically 1820, 1830 somewhere, and then maybe another fall again in October before the real momentum starts early Q1.
All right, Redman, the JPEG junkie, shout out Laser Eyes. Who was that, BJ? I guess you showed the camera real quick. I don't know. Could be
I'm eating
Miss
a
Cat.
banana. They don't get that shit for free.
Could be Miss Cat.
That's X-Minute stuff.
All right,
X-Minute
back
talk.
to ETH futures here. SEC seems unlikely to block it, according to familiar sources right here. And an August 2nd report stated that the regulatory approval is pending for 6 future filings there. So the 6 come from Bitwise, Roundhill, VanEck, ProShorts, and the Grayscale Ethereum futures ETF. Kathy Wood, CEO of ARK Invest, believes the SEC will not grant approval for the Bitcoin ETFs individually. She basically is saying that they're going to do a whole slate of them simultaneously. I think she said Q3 or no, maybe it was Q1. So she's saying, yeah, they're going to push it back. I think about 6 months. Maybe she said October, and then they'll do everything at once.
It's 4 to 6 months. So you're looking October at the earliest, but more realistically, probably January.
Yeah.
End of December, January. So, yeah.
All right, then we have this Mantle update real quick. This I don't know how many people are in the Mantle ecosystem, but it's a Bybit supported layer 2 network, and they're amidst a whirlwind of discussion, and it's involving FTX, baby. It's the question whether the BIT tokens acquired by FTX should be eligible for a conversion to Mantle's new MNT token. So it looks like the forum debates on BIT to MNT controversy here. So they brought the debate to the forefront. At its core, the issue revolves around the absence of an entitlement to migrate BIT to MNT tokens. It suggests that BIT tokens held by FTX should not undergo automatic conversion, particularly considering specific disqualifying factors. Probably having the name FTX is going to be my guess right there. They're emphasizing the significance of the 3-year no sale pledge, asserting its validity even in the event in the FTX's group bankruptcy. I'll say this. FTX has been accused of selling things when they weren't supposed to. So I think I'm with the MNT community here. Don't convert their tokens.
So they'll be outside of that no sell pledge by the bull run.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good timing. That's just smart timing. I don't think anyone said
well, I'm just saying it's not a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
At all.
All right. As far as the Ben update, we're going to have to wait for Ben on that one, unless, I mean, you don't have the inside scoop on
so
that.
Here's what I can say. No, I don't have an inside scoop. He definitely will, when he talks about it, he'll talk about partnerships. There's a bunch of new partnerships that BenCoin has made. I'm not running BenCoin, by the way. Everyone thinks that I know everything that's going on. I don't. But Ben has a lot of cool things there. And people have been asking about it a lot. And I want people to know Ben not talking about it every single day was not him. Like some people are like, oh, is Ben giving up? No, like I can tell you firsthand, even though I'm not in charge of it, the amount of meetings and times I'm trying to talk with Ben and I can't because he's having a meeting about BenCoin and some new updates coming. He decided every single day from here on out, we will have a segment where he'll give you BenCoin updates. So that's why that's there. Again, it's looking like the meeting he's in is taking long and he's got to stay in that. But hopefully, Monday he'll be back and we'll start off with those BenCoin updates. But I can tell you right now, it's big and it's bullish. So hang on.
Bullish, everybody. All right, I guess we're gonna do the X Minute brought to you by Steak, and we're gonna do DZ's X today. DZ.
And this is where we cut loose. No chains on BJ, on DZ.
Yes.
We are just going at it full-fledged. If you guys love nonsense,
chaos.
you are here at the right moment.
All right, well, speaking of chains, that leads us to our first X post here. Bought some chain link, that is, and Algorand today on stream. I bought it at the end of the ATB morning stream. You can see how much chain link I bought. Spoiler alert, it was single digits, guys. I only have like 2 chain link. Okay. And that's after this morning because I only had 1 and I doubled my bag. So no, more seriously, I bought a little bit of chain link and I bought a little bit of Algorand live. What is my third DCA altcoin? what would you choose? You got to choose a third altcoin.
Yeah.
I guess you would say XRP, right? 'Cause
Well,
bought some
you
XRP.
said the other two you had were
Algo and Chainlink.
Yeah,
What should
okay.
DZ's third target be? I'll buy it today, folks. Just tell me.
I mean-
shill your bag.
Matic is sitting in a very good spot.
Lol.
I like what Matic is. Of course, XRP. Man, I really like Link. Where did you get Link? What price did you get Link at?
I mean, whatever it was.
Okay.
Let's just see. This is just from TradingView today. Let's see. $6.70, I guess. You know, I got it like $6.70.
Yeah, it's still good. It did wick down to a support level, a flat support level that has been trading in for a very long time. And what I love about how low it got, although we did have this happen before too, low volume bottom again. I love on the charts where it's a low volume when it's bottoming out, because that a lot of times will set up the spring action. So I didn't buy any Chainlink last night. It's still at a good price right now, so maybe
all right, we got like Quant, Dot, HBAR, Dot, a lot of Dot, Filecoin, VeChain, Quant. You guys want me to buy some Dot, some Quant, some Near, some Atom? Okay, Arc Block. Okay, I don't know. I might try to open up a second exchange. Might try to use some Bybit. Isn't that what Ben uses to get the altcoins now? Because I can't use KuCoin anymore.
BitGet.
BitGet. Yeah, I might have to go ahead and open up a BitGet.
Yeah, I don't know where Ben stands with Bybit right now. Bybit kind of pissed him off there with that competition where they clearly allowed. I can't remember. The coin was so unrememberable, and no one actually. Like, the minute the competition was over, the volume on it went to like basically zero. So it's pretty obvious Bybit worked in cahoots with them. And yeah, I don't know where Ben stands on Bybit right now.
All right, let's give a shout out to Gareth Soloway. You know, it is good to have the bears whispering in your ear, all right? Because too many people, you have two devils on your shoulder. One saying do 50x long, and the other guy, he's saying do 40x long. You just have two devils that are bulls on your shoulder. You need a bear. And we had Crypto Face in the morning stream, ATB. You know what he said? I'm saying 64K, we won't ever hit that again. It's good to have a little bit of a bearish sentiment. They joke that he's Gareth Soloway, but I call him Gareth because you know what? He's right a lot more often than he's wrong. They like to make fun of his 10K potential target. He's just saying it could go there. So yeah, check this out. He looks at some levels, you know, just kind of points some things out. So it's really worth, you know, going into it. It's a long tweet, so we're not going to go too far into it. Make sure you're following around the blockchain. Hey, is Cardano the safest 10x in crypto? We kind of talked about it. I ended up making the tweet about it right there. And then Kat will like this one. This is the 4-second clip of my dog accidentally stepping in the dog food bowl. She twisted her ankle after it. I felt really bad. But don't worry, if you watch the morning stream, you get an update. We even show Athena and Tide on camera. All right, this is only 4 seconds.
Oh.
Might as well just replay it. Yeah, she hurt her ankle doing that. What a klutz. What a klutz. Yeah, the bowl then proceeded to fall down the steps one at a time before doing that little swirly clanging noise thing at the bottom of the steps. And then my fiance's face after the noise, she thought a burglar broke in. Are they going to play it? Just wide awake. She went wide awake. Is that she's laughing, so it must be kind of accurate. And always a shout out to Filter Studio. They're really building some cool things over there. All right, let's go to the likes here. So now we're in yesterday. All right. What we got? We got the Gareth Soloway tweet. We have NFT God. He's just put out another banger, folks. Here's his last 3 posts, you know, mega viral. So here's how you write posts that get noticed by billionaires. Such a good hook. Here we have Tom Crown. You think Tom Crown, just think good sound trading strategies. You thought I was going to say something else. Yeah, no, Tom Crown. We love Tom Crown. And Litecoin is way down. So, you know, give him a shout out there. And then we have someone just talking about, is Cardano the top one there? 4-second clip again. And hey, Hawaii stuff. And then it feels illegal to know this. I always try to end with the daily dose of the internet. We're just going to teach you guys how to roll a burrito. It feels illegal to know this. Today years old is one of those things. It's like, wait a minute, that's how I was supposed to iron clothes? Or, whoa, you know, I didn't know Q-Tip did that. It's a great account. I love those accounts.
Q-Tip's not supposed to go there, Mr. DZ.
Oh my gosh.
Well, then why'd you go deeper? Anyways, folks, I think it's well,
we can talk about whatever.
We're here at an hour.
I say
people want the Ben update.
This is the thing. Like, yeah, I heavily doubt that Ben is coming now. He must still be in that meeting. But we can talk about whatever
I told
you
Kat
want
to come here. I was like, yeah, Kat, I'm only doing 5 minutes of stream. Ben's here. She's like, yeah, I just got done running errands. Should I come by? I was like, yeah, I'll be done by the time you come here. She's been patiently waiting over there for 45 minutes. So
yeah.
I'll give you one for Kat.
I'll give you an update, DZ. I'm not ready to throw the white flag in yet. but I'm not liking what's happening on Bitcoin dominance. And I'm starting to get a little bit of a feeling that I will be cooking you a steak. We got a long time before this hits called. I think there's a chance. We just did create a gap here on Bitcoin dominance. I think there's a chance, guys, we might drop on Bitcoin dominance down to 48.9, maybe even 48.3. What I don't like also is when you compare and you go back to, remember, we always talk about 2019. I think that what we're seeing, let me go to the weekly chart. I think what we're seeing in comparison, if I'm going to circle this little peak right here, I think this is this one. So the reason I'm not throwing the white flag is to see we double topped here back in December of 2020. There's still an outside chance dominance. The dominance gets another rally here, it goes sideways, and it gets a rally. But even if that happens, the reason why I'm getting a bad feeling is I don't know if I think the dominance is done going higher. But I'm starting to get to a place where I'm like, 60's asking for a lot.
For those who don't know, me and Tim have a side bet. He thinks he'll hit 60%. I don't think he'll hit 60%. And the loser has to cook the winner a steak dinner.
Yep. And again, so it's not time to turn the grill on yet. But I am probably looking at some good charcoal to use at this point. We're going to see what happens.
All right. Cardeezy in the house. I'm guessing you like Cardano. Cardeezy, how are you doing? Let's see. Idris says, hey, I must be an internet celebrity to have such a lovely fiance there. I agree, folks. I agree. Joseph, she's right over there. They really want you to say wave bye, Kat. They really, really do. You see the BitSquad. She experienced it in real life on the cruise. She's like, I really didn't know people were like knew who I was. Everybody knows who she is. So, Kat, say hey.
Hi.
Just say buy Bitcoin.
Oh, buy Bitcoin.
Yay. Can't you tell she is so enthused when it comes to cryptocurrency? She loves when I come home and talk about Bitcoin dominance and Chainlink buys and Cardano's Web3 and, the integration of CBDCs and how we have to fight it. She's like, tell me more. But guys, that's all we got time for today. I guess we'll do the Bend update Monday, or maybe he'll probably do a phone record.
It'll be a daily. No, so on the live show, it'll be a daily thing to get a Ben coin update. So people get ready. If you guys are always wondering what's happening, he'll keep you guys out in the loop every single day. Yeah. All
right. DZ prefers microwave steak. No, Kat cooked the best steak last night. So it wasn't microwave. It wasn't microwaved. All right. That's all we got time for today. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. If you haven't watched ATB Morning Stream, we do it Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Just 30 minutes, high impact. And we're going to be back at 5 p.m. So make sure you follow ATB there. That's all we got. Until next time, me, Tim, Johnny, BJ, and Kat. Have a good one, folks.
Bye, Felicia's.